Hey guys, it's Destiny and welcome back to the channel. If you follow my channel and you watched my previous video, you know I recently did an audit of all the pieces that I've made. And from there I took some notes on a few of the mistakes. I want to take those notes and apply it to this new project that I'm going to be doing today. Hopefully I finish it all in one day. I'm not going to force myself. One of the biggest issues that I had with my projects was the fact that I was trying to finish them as quickly as possible, and that often led to me rushing through segments of it or just finishing things in a way where it wasn't perfect. And I really want to hone in on perfecting rather than just completing. So last night I went ahead and picked out my fabric, sketched out the idea I had for that fabric, and then went ahead and chose the hardware and even chose some of the accessories that I wanted to wear with the final product, so that way I can stay motivated to completing the vision that I have. So let's go ahead and dive into that prerequisite work, and then we can go ahead and get sewing.
Big stretch. Big stretch.
This is 100% polyester. It's nothing too fancy. You can kind of see here compared to my hand how big the floral print is. So what I have sketched out right here is the front side. I just used Procreate and I took a PNG of a dress form and I just uploaded that to Procreate and then I sketched over it. I also took an iPhone photo of the fabric that I wanted to use and then I uploaded that as well to Procreate. And that way I have a digital version of that fabric that I can manipulate. Starting here at the top, it's supposed to indicate gold hardware. Number one, I love gold. And number two, I love to add hardware to straps. I went ahead and repurposed these off of a dilapidated purse that I had. I think these came off of I want to say Kate Spade. And then I also took off these D-rings from that same purse, and this is gonna be what I'm also gonna use too. Bodice of it, I want to be form-fitting, but not necessarily skin tight. The girl's gonna eat through her day. She's gonna get bloated through her day. Moving on to the bottom half here, I want to incorporate maybe some side slits here. We'll see how feasible that is. And then here at the bottom, I know I want to do a rolled hem. I do want to incorporate 2 darts here. Some of my earliest projects, I completely avoided putting darts into a few of my garments, and it just made them so one-dimensional. Take you guys along on the process of finishing off the back side. And this is what you can see here. I have a really low cut back that I want to do, and I think I'm going to incorporate a zipper over here onto the side, and that way I have an invisible look to that zipper. And you can see here which zipper I'm going to be using. Some rings for the strap. I don't know if I necessarily want to put them up here or potentially down a little bit lower, and I'm debating whether or not I want to create a tie or a fixed strap, but I'm gonna hone in on that detail once I get a little further down the road. Moving on to the accessories that I have envisioned for this. So I have this purse here. It's a vintage leather bag. This off-white color and this gold hardware is gonna go really well with the straps and the white undertone to the floral print. I'm debating on what I want to wear it with. I have these vintage like big chunky clip-ons that I'm like dying to wear, but I have no reason to. You can see here these like really big bulbous ones, and I have some really simple hoops that could potentially go with it as well. Another pair of hoops, some cute little pearl dangly ones, and then I have this super cute watch. This vintage Anne Klein watch has like mother of pearl. But anyway, so these are the accessories that I was kind of going for just to keep that vision in line. Obviously it's all gold. We're gonna keep that theme going. This is my dress form, and on here I've pinned a piece of ribbon to sort of outline the shape and the silhouette that I want to go for. Typically this is done with bias tape. I just don't have any on me at the moment, so I made do with what I had. Went ahead and draped it around, and then I pinned it with some flat pins. But if you follow along this line, you can see here it's just gonna be straight across at the top, and then it's gonna go ahead and kind of cut through here with some side boob, hopefully, all the way to the back, which is where I have here this low cut V that I illustrated in my sketch. I don't have a pattern that I'm drafting or sketching, so this is just going to be something that I use in substitute of that. You're not supposed to be cute when you sew, you're supposed to be comfortable, so don't judge this get up right now. I got the fabric pinned up on this mannequin, and I was blown away at how flowy and beautiful it looks down here at the bottom. I think it would be a crime to make it a mini, but I am gonna trim it maybe slightly just because it might hit me at a weird mini length. So what I'm gonna do is keep it as long as possible until I've tried it on for the first time, and then I'll go ahead and hem the bottom as I need it. Like, I have to trim all these excess things off like that, and then it's gonna be I don't want to jump the gun and assume that it's going to be absolutely perfect until it's absolutely done.
We're working on closing it up back here. So she's all pinned up and ready to be sewn. And obviously to be trimmed because this is crazy. So we're gonna forget any form of a timeline that I had originally planned with this dress. I managed to sew all my darts, connect the two pieces of fabric on the side. I've also pinned my zipper into place, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in there. And I am gonna cut my straps with the next piece of fabric and then attach my chain details. I'm gonna go ahead and measure out how wide my attachment needs to be and then attach it to my points somewhere around here and up here. All right, you guys, I've added one of these hoops to the left side and I went ahead and did a little hand stitch too. And then I have this side to do, all of this front, and then I can finally try it on. Actually, no, I can't try it on because I have to add the front half of the strap here and then create the long bit that's gonna loop through here and tie to this center piece. So that way, if I want to tighten it, it will pull up and also pull in here, keeping the dress a little bit more form-fitted. Checking in again. I don't know what day we're working on with this project, but we're several days in now and I have been slowly chipping away at it. Right now I am working on the tie straps that are going to go over the shoulder and tie down the back on those points right there. So I went ahead and traced my straps. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut them and then sew them together. Okay, so my straps are sewn up. They're looking a little tubular, so I'm gonna flatten those out a little bit. And then I'm gonna go ahead and attach them to the chain. So it took me a little bit, but I finally got my straps attached to the hardware. Now I'm gonna go ahead and pin it over here to my dress, get that stitched on, and then I can finally, I think, take it off of this mannequin and try it on for the first time. I have a couple place markers here with these pins showing me like where perfectly aligned with each other. I actually think I have to move this one a tad bit inwards. All right, they're all pinned up. It's time to stitch this all on. I just don't know where to start with this. I don't know, I just don't like it. Anyways, so this is the front. It's very rectangular, it's fine. I do have to make some adjustment to the darts here, which is what I kind of got a little bit ahead of myself before filming. You can see what I'm going for here. Pinning on the side is okay. I want to get rid of things like that from happening. It's just too busy. I want it to be lower. I want it to fit a little bit better, so let's see. This is what the dress is currently looking like. You can see here that I've attached the new cups to the top. My bust is actually a little smaller than my dress form, so it's gonna sit a little weird on here, but on the actual body it'll fit better. And instead of keeping the front half of this bodice all one piece into the skirt, I decided to create a separate cut right here. So this is one piece of fabric, and then down here is one long piece of fabric as well. And then I attached it just above the waistline right here. Actually just above the hips really, so that way it can maybe flow out to a A-line. I don't know, I do want it to be a little bit more fitted on the bodice and just make the skirt loose. I want to talk about the length for a second. I keep going back and forth as to whether or not I want to make this a short gown or keeping the skirt long and keeping it long. It looks really pretty on the dress form, but when I tried it on for the first time with that other silhouette, I just felt like the pattern was very busy, particularly just for me and my aesthetic, I guess. Maybe if I changed the silhouette, particularly the way that the top portion fit, I it might feel a little different. So I haven't touched the length. I'm gonna go ahead and attach the zipper in the back, try it on first, and then decide whether or not I wanna keep it long or short. I'm repinning the back side. I need to attach the back hoops again to this new redefined back, and then I have to repin this side. So, and then I'm gonna add a zipper right here down the middle, long dress or a mini dress. So next I'm gonna reattach these hoops here. I'm gonna go ahead and sew somewhere along there. I'm gonna be honest with you, these D-rings are a little bit of a problem when it comes to tension, and how when tension is pulled on them, what ends up happening is these D-rings will move and shift. So I may have to switch them out later on this dress with O-rings. Okay guys, so I got the back all pinned up and ready to be sewn. I have to still attach the zipper back here and make this sort of straight. I had to take a little bit of a break because I was struggling with the symmetry on these sides. I obviously have to trim this to release the tension on these portions here that I have pinned. I don't know, I'm learning here. We're learning together, guys. We're learning in real time. This is actually the first proper dress I'm making. Before, I've like traced patterns out of other dresses that I've had, and obviously they never came out like the original patterns that I used to copy, but this is my first time actually like pinning a dress to a mannequin and trying to actually make it from scratch without any pattern or anything. So I don't know, big learning curve here, you guys. Even if this does end up as a mini dress, I'm not gonna be upset about it. I will totally be happy. It's still coming out really well. I mentioned the D-ring problem that I was experiencing a little bit earlier. I can always change that out later, so when it pulls, it tends to do this. This is also just a prototype, so I do plan on remaking the silhouette with another fabric and just fix some of the issues that I encountered. Big update. You're probably wondering what this brown band is. I'm actually just about to cut the dress for the length that I want, and I know some people are going to be a little upset that I'm making this a short dress instead of a long one. I really like this fabric, and I'm actually thinking about making a skirt with the leftovers. But anyways, this is going to mark where I'm cutting it. I've finished the zipper. I have here, my little straps have been attached in the back. I hand stitched those in. The majority of this has been hand stitched. I actually hand stitched the zipper in too. I also heavily vacuum my floor before doing any sort of sewing. Once I cut off that end of the dress, then I'll be able to keep it all on the tabletop. But yes, I've been working on the floor a lot for this project, and I'm hoping to change that up. I did the most daunting part of this whole project, which was cut the skirt off. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I think I kind of made it a little too short, but I'm gonna work with it. It'll work. It's gonna be fine, but it's short, so whatever. I have to roll the hem down here and then finish these side seams things here. Oh, and then I also have to close this up right. Yeah, and I also trimmed off all of that excess fabric, so it should be sitting a lot nicer on the body. I finished the hem, and I'm gonna do a really quick change to where I have these hoops in the back. I realized that I need the pressure or the tension a little bit higher up. I'm just gonna be moving that really quick, and then the dress is done, and I can't wait to try it on for you guys. After going through major redesign work with this dress, I am finally happy to say that it is complete, and now it's time to do a final review of my craftsmanship. Overall, I'm satisfied with the silhouette I was able to accomplish, and I felt really confident wearing it out in public. The color palette ended up going really well with the hardware that I chose, which is something I was really excited about, but there's always room for improvement, so I want to talk a little bit about the things I would do differently next time around. The first thing that I would do differently is create a more legitimate pattern for this top portion. As you can see in my video, I was freehand tracing a bikini top that I had, and it ended up working and it fits well. However, it doesn't feel like I had very straight lines or very symmetrical lines, and so next time around I definitely want to take better care in taking time to create a better pattern. In doing so, I ended up having to do more adjustment work than I originally wanted to. The second thing I want to continue working on is having more patience as I progress through my projects. Again, I found myself rushing through segments, especially on my finishes. For example, my hem, I wasn't able to roll it because I cut it too short, and that was me rushing through cutting. And with that, I am so excited to say that this is done. And thank you so much for watching, joining, and even giving some of your opinions on this dress. I appreciate any and all feedback. This is something that I'm very new to and a huge learning curve for me in making this dress. And I can't wait to apply everything that I learned onto my next project. Thank you so much again, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.